And I'm messing everything up now. You got me all wanting to push the buttons. Is Jeff gone?
No, I'm just having too much fun with this stupid thing.
I can see that.
I can't tell.
I'm traveling.
Oh man, it's probably cold over at the bridge there. Watch
It's a
out
little
for hobo
stormy, but the
poop.
sun finally came out. Oh yeah, we're all gamers, and now that there's toys on here, so that's bad news.
Bad news. I don't even think that's not even the right dog for you. You're more like if Jeff, if you were a dog, you wouldn't be that one. You'd be like a Dalmatian.
Definitely not that one.
Now, who draws these? That's like is that the dog from Dogecoin?
Yeah, not a fan of corgis, but that's just because it's their problem, not mine.
They get a Shibu Inu. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, he's gonna rob us now. Zorro. My kid takes martial arts classes, and right next door is a fencing school. It's so cool.
It is cool.
Like, dude, my kid goes in there and he's like doing the jab cross and stuff. I don't want to watch that. I'm like over like staring in the window on the side there instead of watching. I feel like almost like a bad dad, but dude, fencing's so cool. I got to get you in that.
What?
Who doesn't want a sword fight, right? Like that's a
no,
cool
exactly.
skill. Yeah.
It's right next door too. Why not? One-stop shop.
Oh,
Do you know
yeah,
what
like-
LARPing is, Justin?
Yes, I do.
Have you ever been to what do you call that? A LARP session? A LARP bang?
LARP event, I guess. No, I know they do like some local ones around here. I've seen like some listings for that where people they do like set up events, but no, I haven't thought about LARPing in forever. There was that God, there was an event kind of recently in Balboa Park. It was like 50 plus people. You bring like foam weapons. It was like this big organized event. I think I saw on like Facebook.
That sounds awesome.
It
I'd be
actually
down for
does.
something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen like the cardboard wars where everybody develops their own cardboard creations and armor, and that sounds fun.
There's supposedly, and I looked it up online, never found it, but a Renaissance war in a place called Penzag or something, or that might be the name of the thing. Anyway, like hundreds of people line up on each side, full armor, like they don't, and they have like blunted arrows, and like you can't like get into the war unless you have to have certain armor, like you have to have the face covers and everything, and they line them all up and they battle it out, and they have like judges like in paintball matches. They're like, you're out or whatever. That sounds like a lot of fun. But I don't know. Yeah, but people like legit get injured, because they like got huge broadswords, they're swinging like double-handed hammers at each other, and so yeah.
It sounds cool. I would not trust other people to be responsible for that. That sounds like a huge liability issue.
Yeah. We went to what was it called? Medieval Times over the week, or I guess, over the weekend on Friday or so. And we went for Mikey's son's birthday, and it was the first time I ever went, and I don't know if his son had fun, but I did. we were so rowdy. Like we got our section going, man. We were definitely belligerent and just outrageous. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, dude, I think the best part was when our knight got killed and we all booed the knight that killed our guy. Because it's like medieval times is like a setup, right? It feels like a medieval setting. You're eating with your hands and stuff. And And then they have like horse shows where they like show how the horse can like do kicks and stomps and like it's a show. And then the second half, it's the knights come out and then they have a competition. And certain like they just have like regular company, like they got to pick something off the ground while they're riding their horse, and like joust, and then they joust and then they fight to the death. At the end, like it all like progresses into this like, whoa, oh my god, oh, do you want them to fight to the death? And everyone in the crowd's like, yeah, and it's like it's shaped in this a big oval, like a I don't know, like a regular stadium. So it's like this huge track or whatever around. And so they joust, and then they're breaking their joust sticks on each other and flying on the ground and then picking up weapons. And we had the rowdiest section, and our guy would look like Jason Momoa, the Khal Drogo. Dude, it was sweet. And so he was out there, big old beard, and like and the symbol on our flag was like this devil with like red eyes. It was super sweet, dude, with crazy horns. And we so when our guy died, we like our section, we had like cheerleaders on one side and like this church group on the other side, and then us
It
who
was like
were
a
like
whole
all
college group of
Yeah.
cheerleaders, and they were like doing cheers, like legitimate cheers too. It was great.
Yeah. And there's like 6 or 8 nights. Like there's a lot of like different groups. And so we're 14. There's 14 of us, and we all dressed up. Like we're all everybody's got something going on. We got a king and a queen. I dressed up like a knight. My son's like a knight. He's got a sword and shield. Jeff dressed up like a wizard. Yeah. Dude, it was great.
I had the full cloak. I had like gloves that lit up.
Oh my god.
The people there
Dude.
were like super stoked on our outfits, like, and everybody role played the like, they bring you your food and be like, here you go, sire, or whatever.
Milady.
Like, it was a lot of fun.
Medieval times.
Where
so you get there an
this?
hour early. It's a
I
Buena
don't think
Park
I've even heard of this. What, medieval times?
by Knott's Berry Farm. Yeah.
Okay. Jeez.
There's like a Wild West, a pirate show, medieval times.
Okay.
There's like a whole bunch of these shows on this row
Different
here.
theme nights. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
super cool.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. It's definitely, and it's
Dude.
not that bad as far as like price of admission and what you get, because you get like a pretty good hearty meal of like chicken and potatoes and dessert and like, and I think it's like $65 or something, like for the night.
Yeah.
So you get like dinner and a show. Like I pay way more than that for just a steak sometimes,
I was gonna say,
yeah.
Well, less than I was expecting. That's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was really stoked on it. However, those prices might be changing because when we went, and I had heard about this previously, but it's up in LA or in the LA area, right? Mm-hmm. And these are all performers that moved to California to be performers and put on shows, and they're getting paid essentially the same amount of money that I get paid to like deliver pizzas, right? So there's like people on strike out front, like holding up their signs, like, saying there's some pretty bad corruption apparently up there with the night community, I guess.
The council, the round table.
Yeah. There's much darkness in the realm.
Yeah, I heard about that too. I knew there was going to be some protesters, but it was storming so hard. There was only a few.
Right, this weekend. Yeah.
Dude, it was brutal.
I wasn't sure people are going to show up because like we got notifications. We were up in Pasadena and we got notifications that they were like, just don't travel. They're like, don't travel anywhere unless you're running from a flood. Like literally, that's what the text said. And I was like, well, we're going to a birthday party. So, and I'm dressed up like a mage right now. So this is happening. Priorities,
Yeah, of course. You said this was for Mikey's son's birthday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's super cool. How old is he?
7. Just turned 7.
God, that's a crazy party for a 7-year-old. That's awesome.
Dude, 14 people there. Like we all like dressed. Dude, I can't even tell you how much fun it was. And then they had this bar, and then they had the list of drinks at the bar, and they're all like these foo-foo drinks, like pineapple juice, fruit punch,
Mhm.
and rum and stuff. I was like, "Do you have anything?" The girl's like, "We have an open bar. Like, if you want something strong." Jeff wife was ordering shots. We were like,
I didn't realize it
"Wha-"
was open bar. Holy crap. Talk about good price for admission, man. Holy crap.
dude, it
I
was
had no
great. Well,
idea.
it wasn't open bar, but I mean full bar. That's what I meant. Sorry, I said
Okay.
it
That
wrong.
makes
But
more
no,
sense.
yeah, so we were like Long Island iced teas and adios MFers and like
Oh my God.
whatever. I got like the cup that lit up and it was like all shiny. It was sweet, dude. And then but I just wanted to say, like, our section was so rowdy that when our night died, the boo like filled the entire stadium. Like it was like it was like the boo was the highlight of the night, as far as it was, because what happened was the guy got back on his horse, the guy who beat
Mhm.
our night, and he like turned the horse around and turned like looked and like stared at us for a while. Like it was just the best, man. It was like interaction. And Jeff was
Mhm.
saying at the end there, as a performer, you really feed off the crowd energy.
Oh,
So
of course.
it was so good just being there and bringing the right crowd and being, the ambiance and in the castle and all liquored up and eating with your hands. Like, oh man, everyone should go to Medieval Times. They should
I can't believe I've never
sponsor.
heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. They have one in Vegas too at Excalibur. I don't know if that hotel's still there, but that was a
Yeah.
pretty good one.
Yeah, we were there December. It's still there. I think I actually walked by. Okay, so I think I actually know what you're talking about. I just didn't know what that was, Medieval Times. Okay, I think you're right. That is Excalibur.
Yeah, my mom's been to that one before, and I talked
Mhm.
to a few people about it beforehand, but I feel like it's something you definitely have to experience. And man, yeah, it was a good time. What did Ray Ray get for his 5th birthday?
A lot of those video games for his Switch. He got like
Yeah,
he got like 3 games, and then he got $50 gift certificate. Ooh. They have to Amazon, which means I get a $50 gift certificate to Amazon because I'm gonna buy him cool toys that we'll play with together. Like
heck
boats. Yeah, you know how we do it. And remote control vehicles. So that's probably what he got. And then I think he got a puzzle or something, but I think the gift was
who
just
gets a 5-year-old a puzzle?
I don't know. Someone who doesn't know what to get him. But he
Somebody
also
who
I got
doesn't
him a
know what
punching bag.
7-year-olds like,
Right.
huh?
I got him a punching bag. I
Oh
took down
yeah,
the swing. Yeah, we have like a
Nice.
little kiddie swing, with like the leg holes
yeah.
that
Away with
nobody
that
uses.
bullshit.
Yeah, I took that off and I hung a punching bag in his spot. And
Nice.
yeah, I figured if he's having
Yeah.
he's having a fit, I go tell him to go punch the bag.
Yeah. Hey, tell Justin your moonflower story because I think that's great.
I don't want to get myself in trouble.
Oh, come on.
It's great. Yeah, I would say the generational one for me that got passed down, right? That I use on my kid is if we don't go, we can't come back. So like if you're like at I don't know, amusement park or Chuck E. Cheese and you're like, let's go, and they're like, nah. You're like, well, if we don't go, we can't come back. So you want to come back, right? I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. And
I've
then it's
heard you
like
use that. Yeah.
squelches it right away. It's like, oh yeah.
That's
I do.
clever. I don't think I've heard that one. That's clever.
Yeah, you learn all the good tricks.
It sounds like a good podcast sign off.
Yeah, if we don't go,
If we
we can't
don't-
come back.
Yeah. So we'll let
Here
you
we
do that
go.
at the end of the show.
Well, hey, I love it. I'm writing it down. I got the old red pen. Also, we also got all these notes. I don't know if we were gonna try and stay structured, or did you want to vote on a podcast name?
I don't think we have to do like a straight vote right now, considering like we don't have a actual. I mean, unless everybody is like on the same page as far as like something like I am really not that concerned with the name. Yeah, I wrote some in the Discord that I came up with just on the fly, just sitting around.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you saw those ones, but so I really don't have much of a say as far as the name goes. But if that is a thing that you guys want to Do we have a consensus? Does anybody like? Is there one that you like more than the other?
Britney
Yeah, similar to
Spears.
you. I'm not super opinionated on this regarding the options that Mikey presented us. I feel like at least two of them I would be completely fine with.
So it's Rady Moose, Britney Spears fanboys, and Pugcast.
I mean, podcast just makes the most sense, right? It's the most like clean. And
not too off-putting, yeah.
I can always use this as our thumbnail. Like we'll just put that in the thumbnail, and then we're done.
Rebel in space.
Mm-hmm.
I like podcasts, and then we have guests on too. It's like the pickup group, you know. It kind of makes sense as we invite anyone on. I don't know if that's part of your plan, but you know,
we were talking about it when you were gone, which is that like I was looking at the amount of people you can have in a meeting. So you can have a ton of people in here. So I think as long as people are respectful, whoever's available is more than welcome to come join. I think it'll just be a matter of if they're invited back, right? Because I just want it to not be a bunch of people talking over each other, because obviously I'm not gonna be able to edit that. And I kind of like the green boxes too, because then it shows who's talking, kind of tells everybody else like, hey, yeah, this guy's got the mic, so that works.
Yeah, dig it. All right, so then I'll set up the
you'd
Zoom.
Like to get on the show?
Aaron, maybe.
I know that guy. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to get Sean. John. Dude, that's so funny. I'll send you a meme then, because you had the meme I had prepared for the sharing. You had the sharing section of an article or something.
We can do that right now if you want. I don't know what everybody's time is like. It's 2:00 right now, but I've got time if you guys want to hang out a little bit longer.
Yeah, I got some time.
Yeah, I got some food here I want to eat, and I don't want to.
So, but if you want to go over your notes, Mikey, I'm down to listen. I'm just hanging out in space.
Dude.
Make another cup of coffee.
Just I wanted to say the shows. I wanted everybody to talk about shows because I'm into that. You know, just kind of putting on the side screen if I'm grinding out gold or something on my game. Then you just watch your shows. So I've been watching Star Trek Picard has come out, the 3rd season, and I did not care very much for the 1st season. 2nd was okay. 1st season was actually really bad. And the 3rd season here, it's basically they're bringing everybody back from the next generation. They got Beverly Crusher, they got William Riker, they got like the first episode is just like a total flashback, like basically like Star Trek Generations from when they did the throwback to the original series from the next generation. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So this is basically the, you know, they're super old and the next generation has come up, right? And so they're doing the throwback. And so the 3rd season of Picard, at least the first couple episodes that have been released, dude, if you're into Star Trek, you're into the timeline, it's where it's at. That and the other one I've been watching is 1923, and I've been watching the Yellowstone series in general. So if you like Yellowstone or you like that kind of action, it's like Yellowstone is modern day cowboys and Indians and versus government, you know, and then you know, everybody's got their own factions, right? And they're all battling it out. And then they did one 1883. So they did like the flashback of when they first settled the land. The Yellowstone people first settled the land. It's up in Montana, up in like the mountains, and then
that's connected.
Yeah, 1883, and then they jump forward 40 years, 1923, and then it's a continuation of the story. So eventually they'll build up to the
but
the
it's
modern
all
day
the Yellowstone series, is what you're saying. Okay,
exactly. The Dutton family or whatever. And 1883 is really, really good. Like it's this super good miniseries. It's basically the Oregon Trail, dude. It is so good, man, with the Indians and the bandits and just like how hard it was and the immigrants trying to get across and like, dude, I can't say enough about 1883. 1923 is better. I mean, it's good, but it's gotta definitely took the Hollywood, some producers got a hold of the script. It's got more love making and more like long drawn out, like, you know, rape scenes and just like, come on, we don't need that stuff. So like I when I'm looking at the Western, you need to have like the hardcore part, but I like the cowboy and Indian drama stories and battles, and it's good fun. But anyway, that's what I've been watching. So Star Trek and then 1923 or the Yellowstone series. And
I don't watch any of those, and I've historically not watched any Star Trek, but I've been near and around people that have watched it my whole life, so I'm pretty familiar with what's going on. Isn't Picard a robot though? So it doesn't. This whole season doesn't matter, Mikey. I know you're excited, but he's just a robot. Okay, so
when
don't get
did
excited.
what?
You should have paid attention to this first season of Picard. He's just a clone, man. It's not really even Picard.
Doesn't matter.
No, it matters. If it was just your clone, what do you think about your clone having sex with your wife, bro?
Dude,
Does
I
that
gotta
matter?
go back and bro.
Answer
you
the
can't be a
question,
clone.
Michael.
A clone having sex with my wife? If I could leave one behind in Haiti, take care of my wife.
No, I mean, you die.
I don't know.
And then you put a clone consciousness in it, like your consciousness into a clone body, right?
That seems totally fine. Like honestly, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm totally fine with as long as there's only one. I think that's the important part is that the uniqueness remains.
Okay, so that's
She couldn't. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I hope you're recording. That sounds like verbal consent. So it sounds like if Mikey were to die soon, we could continue the podcast with the clone of him, as long as it's only one. Like, it sounds like that's the green light. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could AI me in.
You're the oldest one. It makes the most sense.
Do you guys want to start that? Do you guys want to start the death pool?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I thought you.
I think
it's on the Discord already. You got to pay attention to that Discord.
All right.
What are you watching these days, Justin? You watching anything?
Okay, this last week, what have I been watching? I've been rewatching Community because they recently announced that movie coming up. So I've been going through that show on Hulu. I forgot how much I love that show. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, I'm like you, Mike. You have a lot of just like shows or videos or whatever on the background. It's normally like a secondary activity if I'm playing games or whatever. That's pretty common. But it's been Community this week, and then I've been looking for like stand-up specials. It's been a while since I've seen like a good one. I've been out of the circuit for a while, but like I love stand-up comedy, so I've been looking for those. Haven't found anyone that interested me, but just been rewatching Community to lead up to the movie.
What draws you to Community, to that show? What's funny? What's good about it?
Oh, man, I find it pretty atypical. Dan Harmon's humor is it's very up my alley. Like he does Rick and Morty as well, which I like, not quite as much as Community, but I like Dan Harmon's style. His podcast is pretty decent. I've actually I did go out to LA one time to like attend one of the recordings of his podcast. He has like an audience. Actually, you can like buy tickets. They just film it like the basement of like a comic book store in LA, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, I like how atypical it is. Hard to explain, obviously, what makes it funny. Have you seen the show, Mikey?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen a few episodes, but I just never, got sucked in.
Okay.
If there's like an extra thing, like A arc and B arc storyline that you like, or certain characters that.
The characterization is pretty fun. Almost like I don't know. Almost it is one of those shows where like any one of those characters would be a nightmare in real life. I love shows like that. I like when it's kind of chaotic like that. He does like a lot of meta humor. But I would also say like the cast did a really good job. If you look at the cast, like Donald Glover, what's his name, Jeff Winger. It's a good cast. The characterization's good. It's a good package, but I would just say I'm drawn to like comedy where like it's not super conventional. I don't like the typical sitcom kind of formula. I know that's pretty common, but I would say Community is kind of like an anti-sitcom for me, and that's kind of what draws me.
Yeah, I've always liked Community. I think I've seen it all, and I think what sets it apart is the meta aspects, because aside from that, I would probably compare it to something like Scrubs or something where it's like really kind of wacky humor.
Sure.
It's just the way that they write it, very similar to Rick and Morty, right? Like it's silly and kind of familiar,
Similar to Rick and
the way
Morty,
that it's written. Yeah, the way that it's written makes it unique. So, and you like Rick and Morty, right, Mikey?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I feel like it's kind of fallen off a little bit recently.
I agree.
But
Tends to happen.
Yeah.
Especially with all the drama that's going on in that group.
I don't know, the drama. It just feels like it's getting watered down though somehow. Like every third episode is like actually good now instead of every episode. But they're in like what, the 6th season or something. So
Something like that.
yeah, they're trucking through.
I think Justin Roiland got taken off the show.
Yeah.
Because he like there is some I don't know this whole story, but I've heard that there's like accusations or something. So but yeah, he was taken off the show. So.
Yeah, the scandal was, and I think they found like actual evidence of it. I think like his chat messages, but yeah, he did like a lot of like texting with like underage girls that he was like flirting with, stuff like that. That was kind of what took him off.
That'll do it.
Yeah,
Yep.
he got me too'd.
Yeah.
It'll happen, man.
Wait, did you say you did that too, Mikey?
No, he got me too'd. That's a quote.
I'm not watching anything right now except
Mhm.
for The Last of Us. That's what I'm watching, and it's fucking pretty great. Like, it's obviously, I don't know. It's like the video games where it's like, it's got a lot of political opinions throughout, and it's very heavy on that. But I think if you're just kind of looking at it as like a character study, it's really interesting, and like characters are great. And that's what I've always liked about that. Like I could do with or without some of the political commentary. Doesn't really matter to me. Just don't like being like force fed things. If it's done well, that's great. But aside from that, it's a great show. But like, have you guys heard anything about it or watched it?
I've heard it recommended.
Yeah. Okay. So like the second, I think it's the third episode where, you know, and this isn't like super heavy spoiler, but it starts with the two main characters for the first 2 episodes, very kind of linear with those character development. And then I believe it's the 3rd or 4th episode, they just go on a totally sidebar story, which seems really early in a show to do a sidebar story with like characters that really don't influence the plot. But it's all, I'll just give you the gist of it, but it's about a gay couple in the apocalypse. And it's a cute story, and it's like, you know, Brokeback Mountain-ish, where like these men are like falling in love with each other in like some really harsh conditions and stuff. And like, it's a sweet story. It's just, it's felt weirdly placed, especially that early on in the season. Yeah. I think maybe if they would have like involved those characters, or maybe they will, like maybe they'll do more flashbacks with those characters in the future. But when you're like starting a show with 2 main characters, and then you get to that 3rd or 4th episode, whatever it was, and then you barely see them in a whole episode, it's always like, damn it, like just give me what I want. Now I gotta wait till next week to get the rest of the story that I want, you know? Doesn't matter how good it is. And then I'm gonna watch Mandalorian when it comes back, because I watched all that Star Wars garbage. I love it.
Yeah, my Disney Plus got canceled. I was riding on my brother's account and he moved to Florida and he's all political. So I lose Disney Plus. What's up, man? Because like he's like, I hate Disney. He's like, oh, there was that thing
Why are
in
you gonna
the
move to
news.
Florida and say you hate Disney? That's the
He
wrong
doesn't
place, bro.
well, yeah, right. No, well, because of the politics in Florida, and then versus them, the Disney politics, I guess. There was some issues with I think the Buzz Lightyear movie. There was like a lesbian kiss or something. And my brother's got a bunch of daughters, and he's like, no more Disney Plus. Like cut his kids off from Disney and everything. And because I'm riding that wave, right? I lose my Disney Plus, now my Mandalorian. Come on, man. On my Marvel.
All because
Don't
of
do
one
that to
kiss.
me.
Thanks, Disney.
Yeah, thanks, Disney. I know, what a heartbreak, man. I watched all those Mandalorians and I loved all that. The Obi-Wan series, so it's sweet. Too short in my opinion, but like I love that. It really felt like you're back in the world. You know,
Yeah, it kind of made you like unreasonably nostalgic for the prequels. Like, oh, maybe they were good, and then you're like, no, they probably weren't that good. But there's parts of them that were good, and they pulled a lot of that and put it in the series. I thought that was great. And then I also
did you
have.
both?
Oh, go
I'm
on.
sorry. Go ahead.
You're good.
Oh, I was just gonna ask because you brought it up. I was wondering if the two of you guys had played The Last of Us.
I have. I've played the first one and watched the second one because I couldn't wait to play because I wanted to know the story so bad. Which is funny because I'm not I don't like story games historically. That's not my foray. Like I really do not care for a story driven game. I'm playing a game called Scarlet Nexus right now. And I am spending probably 60% of my time pressing skip. And it is so annoying because the gameplay is so fun, man. It's like Devil May Cry on crack. But yeah, Last of Us is the first one was awesome. The gameplay was pretty fun, but fairly standard. I'm not much for what was it, the Nathan Drake series?
Uncharted, yeah.
Yeah. So I know they're hugely popular games. So but it's just not my if I'm gonna watch a movie, I'll watch a movie. So I ended up watching the second one on Twitch. Great though.
What platform is it on?
It's I don't know if it's the first one was the PlayStation exclusive. I don't know if that was the case with the second.
I think I at least know the first one is on PC now. Pretty dang sure. So yeah, Last of Us is great and very controversial when you get to that second game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And they're saying that the second season is supposed to be the second game. So like they are just plowing through it. They're not like, yeah, I mean, for somebody who loved the first game, I almost wish that they would have taken their time, done 2 seasons at least on this first season. But if it's HBO and they're like, impress us, then yeah, just throw the whole game in there because it's really the great story that's there.
I'm curious how you felt about the second game. Obviously, that was a controversial one. There was a lot of chatter regarding that one.
Yeah, I did a bit of a review on it on the Something's Not Right channel back in the day when I was attempting to try different things on the channel. And that was one of the things where I was like, I'll give my opinion on this and see what happens. Got a decent amount of views, but I also realized like I'm not a game reviewer. I don't really like telling people whether or not they should like something. I don't like reviewing things. Like, I don't mind telling people things are badass, but I don't really like being like, you shouldn't enjoy this. Like, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it, Like, I'm not much into Star Trek, but Mikey, you love it. So enjoy it, dude, except for he's a clone and he's going to fuck your wife. Priorities,
We already went over this. As long as it's still me. and it's not too much of the degeneration, clonal degeneration that happens if you clone the clone and clone. You know, that issue where there's like artifacts. It's like making a copy of a piece of
Multiplicity.
paper. You know, yeah, multiplicity. There's the artifacts or whatever get copied into it, and then those create problems, and then it's like cancer basically, right?
Yeah,
So as
next
long
thing
as
you
we don't,
know, you got a mutant Mikey running around.
there's a great Star Trek episode I just watched where there was these two ships that had left the world at the same time, and they got separated, and one went to one planet, one went to the other, but they were like part of the same colony. They were going to go colonize together. One of the ships was like the scientists, and the other ship was like the farming community with all the animals. So they ended up landing on different ships, and the scientist ones just started cloning each other because there were less of them. There's only like 6 of them or something, so they just started cloning each other. And then the other ones where they're farming, so they're just making babies, right? And then eventually the farming community becomes like large and more diverse, and the cloning community becomes very there's only like, they're having problems with the cloning genetics, etc. And then the Star Trek ship comes in, Enterprise, and Picard's like, what's going on? Oh, you guys are all clones. And then they're like, what happened to the clones are like, what happened to the other community group or whatever? And they're like, they go out and find them, and then they put them together. But what happens with the clone group is they haven't had relations for so long that they didn't want to have relations. So it was like this huge like issue for them to learn how to like get it on again with like, and like all the farming people are like, yeah, all the guys are like, I gotta hook up with 6 different girls to like, get the genetic diversity into the population again. They're like, yeah, and all the clones are like, oh, that's how it ended. But it worked out.
All right. Well, that was a good clone rape story.
One of the best I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah. What about music? You guys listening to anything these days? Anything interesting?
Yeah, I've been I mentioned earlier, I've been obsessed with Talking Heads like all year. I can't believe those guys. I love like 60s, 70s, 80s music. I can't believe Talking Heads. Oh my God. I every drive to work, every drive home, it's just that's been my soundtrack like all year basically.
All right. I don't think I've ever gone and done the deep dive on Talking Heads. I know the basics, right? The big hits, and it seems very out there, but
eccentric for sure. It's funny. I think you were the one that recommended to me a documentary now with it was Fred Armisen and God, who's the other guy?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I can't think of his name right now, but
yeah, Bill Hader. That's it.
Yeah.
They actually did a parody of a Talking Heads concert movie, and they showed that to the Talking Heads members, and it was. I thought I was just thinking about that the other day. They were super eccentric. But the parody they did was just kind of making fun of the band. The band members liked it. It's kind of funny because for much of the band's history, like it was one of those groups where like they all kind of hated each other. So they showed it to like 2 of the members, and they used that as kind of like an opportunity to take like small digs at like a lot of the people being ridiculed. And I find it interesting how like those feuds kind of persist even like, decades after they've broken up, I think like before I was born. And like there's still like that pettiness that kind of persists. And I find it interesting how like, when there's that much discord in a band and like you don't really see that when they perform or hear it in their music, they're outputting such like, good content, but behind the scenes it's just chaos.
Yeah, what is that? Oasis was always famous for that too. Like they would get in fights on stage with their brothers. So like there's like YouTube videos of them like walking off stage on each other and doing all sorts of messed up. And like they were supposed to be as big as the Beatles back in the 90s. Everybody was so excited about Oasis, but they just could not keep it together. It was like that sibling rivalry that just like stopped them. I mean, they're huge, but they could have been much bigger and produced a lot more music if they were to get along a little bit better. And then in that same 80s phase as far as like weirdness goes, I always have to take this chance to tell you to listen to more Depeche Mode because they're just so amazing. They got a new album out. I haven't listened to it yet, but maybe by next week I'll have a little review on that for sure.
That'll be the next podcast. Okay.
Yeah, Mikey, what are you listening to?
I just do like my YouTube playlists. I subscribe to YouTube Music, so I don't have to actually keep YouTube open. So I just play it like music. So my own playlist, a lot of reggae covers. I like covers a lot, covers of modern music. There's also like if I'm in the car, usually it's XM channel 2 or 49, which is 2 is just like whatever the modern pop is, usually not a lot of bad words, although I don't really care for a lot of the messaging, but it's okay for my kid. And then or 49 is Soul Town, and I like that a lot because that's like
nice.
Dude, you can't go wrong with Soul Town. And it's like, Papa was a Rolling Stone, and a little I don't know, Marvin Gaye or something. And I mean, you just can't go wrong. It's just so much fun, and it's good music for the kiddo too, because it's usually like, Jackson 5, just, flopping around, bumping the head.
Yeah, it's incredible how many of like those classic, really good feeling soul songs are just about fucking. Because I put on like soul at work, and it's just about fucking, and I'm like, oh man, I should skip this one. It's like, let's get it on. Skip that one. Like
sexual
it's
healing.
Always,
yeah.
And then and they're great songs, but just you got to pick the right setting for it, right? Family events, sometimes you got to skip certain songs. That's all.
Yeah,
there's a lot of songs about fucking. That's it. I mean, I guess that's the moral of the story.
Lot. And if it's not about, one time he asked me, he's like, why are there so much songs about love? Like, why are they all about the girl or this and love and that? I was like, you'll learn. Eventually it becomes all consuming. But about fucking and stuff, like it's more than that. It's like everything that goes with it. Even like when I said Papa was a Rolling Stone, like how Papa came, hooked up with Mama and left. Like that's what the story is about, right? It's like it's about that moment, who's Papa and stuff. So like everything has got a certain
wherever he laid
reference
his hat
to
was
it.
his home is the lyric. Yep.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
So yeah, what's up. So yeah, it's kind of fun, but there's some good ones, There's some ones that he doesn't know. It's like watching like that cartoon, and there's all those hidden inside jokes that you're laughing at, and he's like, what? I remember Tommy Boy at the very beginning. He does the cannon. I think it's the cannonball, where he takes like a bong rip and then takes a shot or chugs a beer or something, and then exhales the bong rip, and he's like, cannonball or whatever, and then he falls
I remember
over,
that.
and then it's at the very beginning, and then he falls over and breaks like the glass coffee table, like he's like, and he goes out. Yeah, it's a very big, like, total party boy. And yeah, I didn't know what was going on at all the first time I saw that. I was too young, or like, have you like Sublime? There's that the like guy taking the bong rip at the beginning of 40 ounces to freedom or something. Yeah, he's like, what is his drink out? Is he like slurping on the straw? And he's like, could you hear the whatever it sounds like there's no more water.
It's not a Slurpee, Mikey. It's not a Slurpee.
That was a really good impression of
I was just thinking about Sublime recently because I was thinking like that dude really must not get mad about anything, because the lyrics are like, I don't get mad when my mom smokes pot, hits the bottle and goes straight to the rock. Like, and it's like, man, this poor guy, like his mom's like smoking crack and he's not angry about it. So like, what, not much pissing that guy off. Anyway, I'm not a huge Sublime fan anyway. I'm a Californian, so it's like embedded in my brain because it's played at every single party I've ever been to in my life.
Apparently the guy Bradley was a total dick, and he would like steal people's guitars at shows. But the way he got popular was that's a lead singer of Sublime, but at least one good thing came out of Sublime. You might be able to admit. Wasn't his girlfriend the singer of No Doubt?
Really? I didn't know
Huh.
that.
She's
That's
on
cool.
that. I can't remember her name, but she's
Gwen
on one of
Stefani.
those original. Yeah, excuse me. She's on one of the original tracks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they like have it. She's singing like a, the girl part of one of their songs. We'll have to talk about it. But yeah, she came out. So that's how kind of she got discovered because he got big, and then they're like, "Who's that voice?" And she got picked up. As far as I understand, but
first
that
album
came out
was
of that
very
thing.
like reggae heavy, like kind of ska, like punk rock sounding. I saw them back on that tour. No
Yeah, it
doubt.
would make sense that they came from the same background.
Right. I'm
But then
listening
I'm known
to.
for
I'm talking.
for
I'm talking. Hold.
wait,
Wait.
I'm known for saying rough
I'm.
things all the time.
What?
So have you know the Stone Temple Pilot song? Half the man I used to be.
Yeah. Do you know what that's
I don't think I
about?
You know it? I'm half the man I used to be.
don't think I know that one.
It's about
Generational gaps.
I had Jeff convinced for years that was about a guy's circumcision.
It's true. I was naive.
Sure.
And I actually spread that rumor to people, being like, "Yeah, I mean, it's true." You can understand this is before, like, I had access to the internet. I mean, at least 15 years ago. So I hear information from Mikey. I take this is
Yeah,
the word.
I saw it on the History Channel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Son of a bitch.
That was the dynamic between you guys. Okay.
That was the way it was, though. Yeah. I mean, back in the day, right? Go ahead.
My worst mistake, my worst dumb mistake that I did in front of people was because I have like very mild dyslexia, and I like mix letters up, and like I'm not the best reader in the world. I can read, I'm just not the best reader in the world. But we were playing Call of Duty, and the reticule that comes up that you like shoot people with. I said you could have custom ones on Call of Duty, right? And I think I said something. My wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, and Mikey were in the room, and I was like, "Oh, you can get custom rectiles in this." I didn't live that down for at least months after that. That's when you're like, yeah. What kind of game is this? It was erectile dysfunction is what it was. It was erectile confusion.
Yeah, that really didn't get popular until years after, I think. ED and Viagra.
Yeah, I hear that Ed guy apparently bugs a lot of older men. He's like, there's commercials about him and supplements, all sorts of things to get rid of Ed.
Well, pretty soon as an old guy, I'll be able to let you guys know.
Confirm or deny.
Yeah. Stuff slowly stops working right.
I got a hookup for the horn of rhino if you need it.
Yeah, pick you up on that. Nice.
Yeah, get the horny goat weed.
Yeah. Mix that with some moonflower, and you've got yourself a concoction. Pun intended. But yeah, so what I'm listening to right now is In Flames. They just put out a new album. It's my favorite band, so I always suggest In Flames because it's just great music. Very diverse as far as like doing the scope of like death metal, thrash to like kind of poppy. I mean, it's the whole thing. So I love it. And then, but that's just an always ongoing thing. So I'm probably not the best person to ask about In Flames because I just love everything they put out. And then there's another band called Sleep Token that I've been listening to for 5 years or so. And they are like blowing up right now, like absolutely exploding. Like, yeah, like five of their tracks are on the top 50 Spotify list for like viral hits, and they've just been there for like, and they literally just released. So, and they're doing a cool release where like they just release tracks. Like it's a weird cycle. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're a very conceptual band, and they like wear outfits, and they like their whole thing is that it's like kind of like culty, like religion culty vibe. You'll have to like look up some videos, you'll get the idea real quick. Like, but the music itself is really unique, and to me it's like a throwback to some of my favorite bands like Finger 11 that I used to listen to when I was younger. Like their early albums, just very like vast and like just sounds really deep. Like there's just a lot of space in their music. And then let's see. Yeah, I guess that's probably about it as far as like what I'm going through. But I listen to those things on a repeat like crazy. So I'll have to throw some Talking Heads in the mix, and maybe some Marvin Gaye.
Be happy to send you some stuff if you're up for that.
Yeah, let's get it on.
Yeah.
I'll check out Talking Heads. I'll put that in the mix. When you first started talking about Talking Heads, I was like, he's like listening to Fox News on the radio, like the actual Talking Heads. I don't know. And then I'm glad you cleared that up. But I'll check that out. Yeah. As long as it's, good bump to it, you know, you bobbing your head, singing the lyrics. Is that what's going on? All right. That's what I need. Yeah.
They're like very kind of they're all about like the visual aspects of like the performance as well. I'll send you guys like some videos of like what they would do at the concerts. It was always like a spectacle.
Yeah, they're like very artsy guys, like art students, right? And I would say that's very similar to Sleep Token as far as like performance goes, like because they put a lot of effort into their costuming and concept and all that good stuff. So
I'll check them out.
Cool little parallel.
I have heard of them. Are you guys like concert guys? You guys like going to shows?
Mikey,
oh yeah,
he's
I
always
like
down.
it. I was a festie for a while.
Oh, okay.
I went around to a bunch of music festivals and would like either sneak in or volunteer, you know, so never paid. So I like that aspect a lot. And then Jeff him and his wife like to go to like legit venues. And he took me to a metal concert a few months back.
Nice.
Yeah, we saw Static X,
Power Man, whatever.
No, was it? Did Power Man?
I think they opened.
Was it really?
They were first band, I think.
Maybe you're right.
Oh,
and then about that.
And then
Mudvayne.
That's who we went to see, and the Rob Zombie.
Yep.
Rob Zombie was there too?
Yeah.
Dang, that's actually hell of a lineup. That's cool.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And then I think it was 2 years before that I went with Justin, and we went and saw Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson.
Right.
So at the same venue. So we got to put it together. Sounds like the next Rob Zombie concert. We got to go.
And Jeff's going to Whitney Houston soon, I think.
No, not Whitney. I'm going to Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oh, that's so cool.
I got my wife tickets, and when it comes to like concerts and stuff, I'm always just like, I'll go. Like I'm just down to see any spectacle. I've seen, like I said, my first big concert. Well, technically my first concert, if you want to like break it down, was Ninja Turtles live, and I'm pretty proud of that. And they blew the fucking lid off of that fucking stadium. It was a huge show. It was badass. I look up videos because they're out there, like of their actual performances and shit. It's pretty sick for a kid's show. But then my first actual show was No Doubt. I saw them live, and then so like, man, I've seen like Jay-Z and Beyonce. That's what I always tell people. Like, And then I've also seen a ton of death metal bands and stuff like that. So I love the whole spectrum. I'll just watch it all. I think it's all great. So we got to go to some shows.
We
Absolutely.
got to go to like a BTS show. I heard those are the best.
I
Like
have them on
K-pop, dude. Legit.
them-
Like I'm not even
I-
joking.
Oh, for
I
real?
have them on my
Dude.
I have them on my announcement list on my Ticketmaster. So as soon as they announce a show here, they're on
Dude,
my
BTS
list.
is the biggest one, but like Black Ice or whatever, like I just want to go and see the crowd that's there because they're pumped, singing the songs and
Absolutely.
just
Oh,
crying because it,
That's
I
hilarious.
have it on there, yeah, because my mother-in-law is like obsessed with them, and so as soon as I get a chance, like I'm gonna try to get her tickets to go see it. But I would totally go to see that too. Just fandom is fun, man.
The
yeah, dude, I
culture
got
of
a
it. Yeah.
friend of the family and they just follow him around and stuff. And they said it's the best thing ever. Like just great shows, good dancing. You know what you're getting, right? You're getting the production. So
yeah.
yeah.
No, that's
it'd be
funny.
fun.
I'm looking at my little sister right there. She's actively trying to get K-pop tickets right now. She's all about it. I say the same thing. Same thing as you, Jeff. Like I'll go to any show, but that in particular, I just want to see the environment, like the culture. It's so, just the I don't know. It's the fandom is just crazy. BTS is the biggest one. I'd go to see anyone though, but like no, I'd love to go to one of those shows.
I mean, why not? Like I've always been like, especially if you get me in for free. Oh, 100% I'm there. Like anytime people offer me tickets to a show, I'm like, let's go. Like, so, and I don't mind traveling either. I'll go places for it. So I also like in Vegas, I've caught a lot of really good shows just because we go out there in the summer and in downtown, like the classic Vegas. Or old Vegas, I don't know what you call that. They always have street shows and they actually have like big bands out there. So like we got to see like Coolio and All for One and like Vanilla Ice and fucking we've seen so many badass like acts that like I never would have paid to see that I'm so happy I got to see. Like he played Ninja Rap, dude. Like Vanilla Ice played Ninja Rap, dude.
Bro.
And like I said, my first concert was Ninja Turtles, so that was a coming home moment for me. Okay.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, I just like the entertainment value. I mean, BTS, K-pop would be fun, but yeah, just really whatever. If they're gonna blow my mind, like I'm down. Like, I get pumped up. Like Jeff, when you were like, you want to go to the concert or something, it's like, yeah, you said like our buddy Aaron would probably be more into it. I said, yeah, but I'll have more fun. And I think that's the difference is like he probably appreciates the music and he's listened to it in the car more, but man, I'll go there and just, oh man, just enjoy myself, get your drink on, shout it out, headbang and just really feel it. And I think that's where it's at, man. You guys
make
gotta
memories,
be part
man.
of it.
Yeah. And I it really depends on the evening, I suppose, but for the most part, yeah, like that, especially that Mudvayne show, just because it had been with COVID and everything else, it had been so long since I got to like rock out and just like really enjoy metal in like a group setting. It was just, it felt so good. That was such a fun night. So yeah, we'll have to do that. I think it would be fun if we go out. We'll go to a show together and like take some video of us at the show and shit. That'd be fun. Include that in the podcast. That'd be fun.
Definitely get that Discord going too, and get our followers can come and see what we're doing.
I'll try to make like some private and public channels on the Discord itself, and then if you have ideas for shows that you guys want to go to, we can always just throw those, links down there or whatever. Use that Discord, both of them, Mikey, that other one too, for just like everything, because it's so much easier than trying to write down notes and then go back to them later. Like,
yeah, I gotta hit you up with some of those things. We'll be in contact so we can develop the Discord action. Yeah. Hey, my battery's gonna die.
Yeah, we can call it for the day, but
yeah,
I appreciate you guys being patient with it. And then I think in the future, I know we were in like super late, but we'll try to go till like 2:15. That way, we have like 15 minutes to get set up, and then about an hour to chat, and then we'll call it after that. I'll let you know how these recordings go. Get back to you.
Okay, right on.
Yeah. Good seeing you, Justin. Good seeing you, Jeff.
Are you gonna say
Yeah,
it, Mikey?
likewise.
I'm not gonna wait all day.
Do I have
Yeah,
to
I
say
mean,
it or is someone else?
I
gonna?
think I mean.
Does everyone have their own sign offs?
No,
Or is this
I
just
think
the one sign
yeah,
off?
that's
Because if we
it.
don't go, we can't come back.
And you can't say anything after that, otherwise, then we got to start the podcast again.
Dude.
Sign off.
Did you write it
Peace in the
down,
Middle
or-
East.
I think
that's my sign
I did
off.
write it down. You
Okay.
can't
All right,
read
well,
that?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
You said it.
It's not peace in the Middle East. Bless you. Save your soul.
That was so gnarly, bro. We better go, because if we don't go, we can't come back.